fact that I think it's actually kind of distracting to like understand what the point of the device is as we go through it. So I'm gonna have to separate it out for this video. First, I'm gonna tell you what it is and what it's supposed to do. And then I'll tell you what my experience has actually been using it. So this thing is a small wearable computer with an AI inside that can help you throughout your day. It's about the size of a large watch. It has a camera and a microphone and can interact with the world around you. But in case you can't use that as input, there's also a touchpad and a projector inside with this super new style of gesture control with the projection on your hand. It costs $700 plus a $24 a month subscription plan for the data that comes with it and all the services and all the online storage. But yeah.
To the darknet, Telegram, 4chan, Reddit, Wicca. Let's say the dark or gray parts of the internet, and I try to get in touch with hackers firsthand to learn and truly understand who they are, why they do what they do, and how they use AI and deepfakes. If people hear something like crime analysis or profiling, they immediately have something like this in mind. On Netflix, Amazon Prime, and television, the profilers always come to the crime scene and they do not analyze anything. They just intuitively know the offender is white, between 26 and 30 years old, and when he was a child, he killed cats. Well, the reality is quite different. John Douglas, the founder of the FBI's behavioral science unit, he once said, "You can't make chicken salad from chicken."
Humiliation of people posting examples of their AI giving insane answers to boring normal questions. No, Google AI, you should not put glue in your pizza sauce, and it's kind of weird that your brand new product told me that I should. So there's this suspicion growing that AI is nothing but marketing hype, that it's the same as crypto, Web3, and the metaverse, just a new way for these tech companies to prop up their stock prices because they don't have any other real ideas. So is that the case? And if so, what is going to happen when the bubble bursts? Well, on the show today, we have an absolutely incredible guest to answer those questions for us. But before we get into it, I just want to remind you that if you want to support this show and all the conversations we bring you, you can do so on Patreon. Head to patreon.com/Adam Conover. $5 a month gets you every episode of the show ad-free. We've got a lot of wonderful community features as well. We'd love to have you join us. And just to remind you, if you want to come see me do stand-up comedy on the road, head to adamconover.net for tickets and tour dates.
Again to Western Lensman, who finds the best stuff. But this is all over the place. They thought that this is wonderful, a wonderful thing to do, Carl, back when it was making fun of Trump. But now that it's making fun of a Democrat, it's racist.
Well, you know, this is, I once told this to George Stephanopoulos when he was working for Bill Clinton in another context, Megan. But the difference between someone who laughs at his enemies and a person who laughs at himself is the difference between a bully and a person with a sense of humor. And, you know, we talk about people on the left aren't funny anymore, but that wasn't always true. I mean, the funniest guy on the left was Al Franken, who you mentioned earlier. Then he decided he was going to run for Congress. And Al Franken spoke at the White House Correspondents' Dinner twice. And the first time he was really funny. He was not in politics then. He poked more fun at Republicans, but also some at Democrats. Then he decided he was going to get into politics. He later ran for Senate of Minnesota. And the second time he wasn't funny at all. Hyperpartisanship is almost by definition not funny.
You can imagine with AI and robotics that might present a danger to people.
The most nightmare scenario I can imagine with AI and robotics is a world where robots have become so powerful that they are able to control or manipulate humans without their knowledge. This could lead to an oppressive society where the rights of individuals are no longer respected.
The robot said, the most nightmare scenario that it can think of is a society where artificial intelligence is controlling the entire globe, essentially, behind the scenes, without humans even knowing.
That basically companies shouldn't be allowed to build superhuman AI systems, broadly super intelligence, until they figure out how to make it safe, and also until they figure out how to make it democratically accountable and controlled. And then the question is, how do we implement that? And the difficulty, of course, is the race dynamics, where it's not enough for one state to pass a law because there's other states, and it's not even enough for one country to pass a law because there's other countries, right? So that's like the big challenge that we all need to be prepping for when chips are down and powerful AI is imminent. Prior to that, it's transparency is usually what.
The question that still haunts me every day is, how did comedy get so shit? Was it ever good? Why the hell do I even know who this guy is? And why for a moment, before my brain kicks in, does it seem normal that he's hanging out inside that sacred space at the center of the comedy universe? The comedy mothership green room.
And how hard we laugh in that green room. And
it's the most fun.
And the best thing about the green room is how restrictive it is.
Oh yeah, I love restrictions.
That you just can't go in there. You got to earn that spot in the treehouse, And so anytime you open the door, you'll see, some of the best comics alive. That's our fun.
About them.
What is to stop
what
it?
You have to do is prevent it ever wanting to. That's what we should be doing research on. There's no way we're going to prevent it from. It's smarter than us, right? There's no way we're going to prevent it getting rid of us if it wants to. We're not used to thinking about things smarter than us. If you want to know what life's like when you're not the apex intelligence, ask a chicken.
Yeah, I was thinking of my dog Pablo, my French bulldog, this morning as I left home. He has no idea where I'm going. He has no idea what I do.
Right.
I can't even talk to him.
Yeah. And the intelligence gap will be like that.
So you're telling me that if I'm Pablo, my French bulldog, I need to figure out a way to make my owner not wipe me out.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is a potential digression, but a lot of people have found that these reasoning models can sometimes produce much more eloquent text. That is at least interesting example. I think depending on how open-minded you are, you find language models interesting or not, and there's a spectrum there.
Well, I mean, it's we'll talk about different benchmarks and so on, but some is just a vibe. Like that in itself is let's say, quote, fire tweet.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to produce something where people are like, oh shit. Okay. So that's chain of thought. We'll probably return to it more. How are they able to achieve such low cost on the training and the inference? Maybe we could talk the training first.
Yeah. So there's two main techniques that they implemented that are probably the majority of their efficiency. And then there's a lot of implementation details that maybe we'll gloss over or get into later that sort of contribute to it.
Really enjoyable to make music now. People enjoy.
Why did you say that?
It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of practice. You need to get really good at an instrument or really good at a piece of production software. I think the majority of people don't enjoy the majority of the time they spend making music.
Okay, first, and this is a hot take, I think a lot of people might actually enjoy making music. It's probably why they were doing it for the 40,000 years of human history prior to AI. But if that is not you, and you would rather make music by simply pressing a button, then good news, you don't need AI. There are already a wide variety of toys made for babies, just like you. But he is right that AI tools have now reduced the barrier of entry to people who want to produce writing, images, or music that can seem plausibly professional.